They got to be here.
You're supposed to be here or be square.
Be here, be there, or be square.
Mine got a heart.
Damn, they chose favorites already.
Yeah.
I'm there in spirit. No. That's not how this works, Pittman. Pittman, I know you can't hear me right now, but get your ass on, all right? It's Dale Earnhardt's daggone birthday. You join our podcast on Dale Earnhardt's birthday. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Well, okay. We're starting off strong today, boys. Starting off strong. All right.
I said amen.
You did say amen. And
God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
Still down there. Still down there.
Still outside corner, you're number one.
Was out. Hell was out. Danny just about outwrecked him. And then she busted her ass.
What?
Well, I was gonna say glad to have you back, but then I remembered why. It was nice. I got to do that last week. I got to be the guy that cut someone off, even though I couldn't figure it out. So
yeah, I know. I saw that. I was like, I'm not even gonna watch this shit.
I was like, okay, well, this works. So it's over here somewhere.
You did a fantastic job. I mean, you chose the wrong intro too.
Yeah, I realized that after I clicked it the first time. I'm like, oh shoot. Okay, this.
I guess I should have given you a little, I don't know, crash course on how to set that up.
So how does this work? We're doing Twitter for the first time here, guys. X, whatever. So will their comments show up here? Do we know, or is that another one?
So. I think so. That's why. Yeah, I just checked and we're live on there. So
okay, well we're gonna give it a try. We usually do Instagram, trying out something different this time. But it is.
Yeah.
I can hear myself.
Yeah, there you go.
Sweet.
Fancy.
Moving on up.
Fancy.
But it is Dale Earnhardt Sr., the man, the myth, the legend's birthday today. Happy birthday, sir. He's not dead. He's just a lap ahead, as we kept saying at the Dega.
Praise Dale, praise Dale.
Raise hail, praise Dale. Raise Dale, praise hail.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah. So,
all right. So we have a lot to cover, not just on the track, but off the track.
We do.
We have a couple things coming up, some big things. And I don't know, did you see my text I sent you earlier today?
Probably.
Remember that person we talked about that'd be cool if we could interview them?
Oh, yeah. Hold on. I'm reading it right now.
Yeah. So it looks like that person. There's more to that text I'll talk to you about after this stream, but it looks like we're going to get that person almost as a definite.
Well, that would be fan-fucking-tastic.
That would be fantastic.
I know you're happy about that.
For y'all that want to know what we're talking about, we'll go ahead and talk about it a little now, and we'll give you more information at the end. We don't have a ton of information ourselves yet because we are just finalizing this. But
it just kind of came from left field.
So what?
It just kind of came from left field.
It came so far out of left field. We were playing soccer. They were playing baseball. And then all of a sudden we transported.
Tiger Woods hit a home run.
Yeah, it was insane. It's one of those things where it's like you've been doing this stuff. And then all of a sudden someone reaches out and you're like, man, I don't know if anybody even notices this. Out of left field, here it comes.
Kind of hard to notice you.
Yeah, Ray Charles spotted me. But we are going to be having our own segment at the Citrus Safe Autograph Zone for the Coke 600. So the same people that used to put on the Autograph Zone when it was Speed Street before COVID, that's who we're working with. We know we're going to be there. We'll give you more information as the podcast goes. Yeah, stay around though. Yeah, definitely not. He tried to run us over with a golf cart before he ever got there.
You never know.
Yes. What up, big dog?
What up, Daddy Dakota?
That is Dega Jesus, sir.
Daddy Dakota.
You gotta change all your socials like you were talking about. But all right. So we'll touch more on that at the end of the show. But let's talk racing. Let's talk Dover. Ooh. And let's talk aero blocking, I guess, because one of your favorite driver kind of brought it up as well. But let's start with, did you watch any of the Xfinity?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
It's pretty nice. Pretty nice.
Yeah, I watched I don't know, at least half of it.
Gotcha. I watched it just because I wanted to see, I didn't watch the very beginning of it. And then once I heard like Kvapil, how do you say his last name? Kvapil?
Quaffle.
I heard that he was actually doing really good and possibly going for his first win. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna
In his second start.
In his second start. It was only his second start. I don't know, Dale Jr., man, he's all about the sport. He
knows how
brings
to
in
coach.
these drivers, like, keep it up, Dale Jr.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. What did you think?
I thought it was a great race. I think I caught, I don't know, half of it. Probably about end of stage 2, beginning of stage 3 is when I tuned in. I can't even tell you who won stage 2. Maybe Cole Custer. I don't know. They had the rain situation where they thought that they were going to be racing after stage 2 towards halfway. And of course it rained. And they brought the cars down pit road, and they thought Cole Custer was going to win it. And then Custer and Allgaier, I think, stayed out.
Yep.
For that. And then
Sammy Smith as well.
Yeah, they got the race back going, and Custer decided to pit, and then it started raining again. And it's just a whole clusterfuck, a clusterfuck.
A clusterfuck.
Yeah, but I thought it was a pretty good race. I was definitely pulling for Quapple there. I was definitely pulling for Sheldon Creed. I know that there was a lot of guys. I don't know a lot of guys. I know there was 2 guys in the group chat that were pulling for Austin Hill, and
Yeah,
I thought it was hilarious. His bitch ass lost it there, but whatever. Yeah, so I was pulling for Sheldon Creed. I thought he was going to get that first win, and didn't really happen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Sheldon's ever going to get the monkey off his back. He always is right there, and then he just makes either a mistake or somebody around him makes a mistake, and he just does not get there. I'm still fine if Sheldon gets a win. I would like Specs to get that win. I'm not a huge Sheldon fan, but I do like those first-time wins, and I think he deserves it, in my opinion. And yes, I was also happy that Austin Hill decided to
Run out of talent.
Yes, run out of talent yet again.
A
So
little bit of talent he has.
2 weeks in a row for him, running out of talent really quickly. So we'll see what the rest of the season holds. But I'll definitely say Quapple.
The Z is silent.
I'm not going to be able to say his name. Definitely turned heads. I think he is making a great case to be in a car next year. My only question is where?
Oh, definitely Junior Motorsports.
What seat comes open?
I mean, they could potentially run the 88 full time if they wanted to. There's no car limit in the Xfinity series. It's all about resources. So, I mean, Dale Jr. wanted to run 10 cars. He certainly could. It's just the money.
Yeah, and I think, the way Dale Jr. does this is very smart. He puts them out there for a couple of races. He plays to their strengths, and that sponsors are watching this. And
I think you could see potentially, maybe, hopefully, Brandon Jones goes somewhere else. Maybe just hang it up because he hasn't really done anything. And maybe Carson jumps in the 9 car and returns the 9 back to glory from Junior Motorsports.
Do you think Sam has progressed enough to warrant moving up? Sam Mayer?
No.
Not yet.
No. I think he needs I still think he needs 2 or 3 more years. He's pretty young still. I'm glad Noah definitely did 3 or 4 years in Xfinity before he made the jump. They didn't rush him into it.
I think he did trucks before that.
Yeah, he did trucks, but as far as at Junior Motorsports, I think he was there for 4 years or something like that. So I think they should do the same with Sam. But what open seats are going to be in the Cup Series for? Is Trackhouse going to bring another charter in? I mean, who knows?
Yeah, and I think
he's not going to Hendrick.
Yeah, he's not going to Hendrick. It's kind of the question mark at the time is where is he going to go? I could see Hendrick. Hendrick has been talking about making that full-time Xfinity team possibly, but I really think they're targeting Raja Karuth for that one.
Yeah.
They've already kind of hinted a little bit there.
Yeah.
The only seat I really see opening, unless someone does hang it up or goes back home, maybe, would be Austin Hill finally moving up and taking that spot in RCR, and that leaving a RCR spot open. Now that still would be Team Chevy. So if it's a Chevy back deal, very possible. But would Junior want to lose one of his, or would he sacrifice someone else? We know Allgaier is probably going to stay there another year because he just always stays and he's always trusty.
Yeah.
Brandon Jones, like you said, has not done anything, but he does bring money, unfortunately. Yep. Sam, still young, definitely improving. He went from no wins to, got his first win last year. Then all of a sudden now, what's he at? 4 wins now total? Because he had 2 last year and 2 so far this year.
Just one. He won Texas. That just really close finish with Ryan Sieg. But I think as far as Sam goes, and he definitely has gotten some more funding this year. That Cardinal Storage or whatever it is, that's definitely a new sponsor that's come in that's kind of behind Sam. But I remember Sam not really having much funding behind him. It's just basically, Junior Motorsports trying to find sponsorship. So I don't know what Sam's going to have to, funding wise to get a cup ride. Sammy Smith, on the other hand, he's got Pilot and TMC. So those guys, as long as you bring in funding, I think, you're going to stay in a JRM car. Same thing with, Gibbs.
True.
I mean, we see it with Ryan Truex. Like, Ryan Truex can't get funding. He's won over 2 years in a row. He's
there's not someone that deserves a full-time ride, it's Ryan Truex. He's, what was it, 2 out of 8 races he's won? Because he's only raced, I think, 8 races between last year and this year.
Yeah.
And
he's done, I don't know if it was full-time or a really large part-time schedule in Xfinity before, but with lesser-known team, underfunded team. But now in a Joe Gibbs equipment, I mean, he's shown what he can do. So where's the funding for him? I mean, he was in a Toyota sponsored car this weekend. That's unfortunate because there's a lot of guys out there that have the talent that don't have daddy's money and can go out there and actually win races and perform.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see Jeffrey Earnhardt in a full-time ride, but he won't take the name money. He wants to earn it himself.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's kind of been that same route.
Yeah.
But yeah, so watch that. The fuel strategy definitely bit some of them in the butt because they were really hoping that rainstorm was going to be a lot bigger than what it turned out to be. Obviously, they're going off of information that's being provided by people they got, around the track, people back home watching the radars. And so, yeah, like you said, Custer and Allgaier, Sammy Smith all stayed out and some others. And they were basically betting on the race not going back green. And unfortunately for them, it did. And Sammy Smith didn't even make it back to the green. He actually ran out of gas trying to make it back. And he was pissed because they told him, you got 4 gallons. And then he ran out before he could even get it all the way on pit road.
And Justin stayed out after Custer decided to pit. So Justin stayed out, and he was on the oldest tires. And I thought he had it there for a little bit, but I don't know. We got to talk about that caution that came out, and then Justin was like trying to, I don't know if manipulate was the right word, but he was definitely, trying to throw the, restart off to be able to get the lane change. Because I think it was when Custer pitted, it moved the lane up, but they were saying that Justin wasn't supposed to be able to choose the outside or something.
So you talking about the one with him and where him and Austin were going at it?
Yeah.
So he wasn't supposed to be able to choose because technically Custer went to the pit, and that's the way that caution fell. They still scored Custer as the leader.
Yeah.
That's what screwed Allgaier, and he was combating that, and so he didn't want to give up the spot that Austin was choosing from. That's how I understood it. I was still bush hogging at the time, but that's how I understood it, and it didn't make much sense, but it's NASCAR rules. Not many of them make sense.
Yeah, that's true. But we had like we touched on, Ryan Truex definitely got the W there. Kind of went into Sunday thinking, are we going to have a back-to-back Truex victory again for the second straight year? And it looked that way. It looked that way for a while.
Martin was really strong. He definitely started off the race showing that he had one of the strongest cars out there.
I think he had the fastest car.
He did until,
Mhm.
unfortunately, old bad luck Bowman out there did not take off the way he should have on one of the restarts, and just Truex slammed him in the back, and it delaminated apparently right where the splitter and the front bumper meet,
Yeah.
basically making an air dam. And he still ran like fourth and third for the rest of the race. That shows you how fast that car is. It's
Yeah.
got a freaking parachute on the front, and it's still running third and fourth.
Yeah. We had some, I wouldn't say, I guess, big name players, but we had, the typical guys up front. It was good to see Kyle Busch
Mhm.
got the pole.
Got the
Congrats
pole
to
qualifying.
RCR and old Dalton for wrapping that car, putting that thing on the pole. But yeah, it was good to see Kyle Busch get the pole. I was a little concerned if he was going to be able to hold that track position most of the race, but I mean, he did. I mean, I don't think he fell below 10th place. I think he was in the top 10 most of the race.
Yeah,
Battled back and finished fourth, I think it was, or
top
fifth.
five. I
Yeah,
think it's
top five,
fourth.
which is really good for that team. Kind of get their momentum back going on here to turn around.
Yep.
But Truex, like you said, had the damage on the front end, still finished, top 10. We had some guys that I wasn't really expecting to be in the top 10. Noah, for one. Congratulate. I mean, really, honestly, think about this for a second. We have two Fords in the top 10, and
Mhm.
normally the Ford that's been carrying the Ford camp has been Ryan Blaney. And
Yep.
who finished ahead of him?
Noah, NG baby.
Yep.
NG Nation.
Now they
Gotta
got
love it.
lucky with that last caution to where they were able to hold that track position, but still,
Hey, you can't fault whenever something gets put in your lap.
well, and you got to be
But
there. You got to be there, top 15,
exactly.
to be able to pull that strategy.
And that's my thing. It's like he kept the race where it needed to be
Mhm.
so that he could benefit when this happened. It's always a toss up. If it would have gone bad, it would have been bad. However, he qualified very well. Him and Chase Briscoe are basically showing that they're the best at SHR. Briscoe was up there for a little bit of the day. I do want to touch on the Fords part of it though, because other than, like you said, Noah and Blaney, this
Logano was like, they didn't talk about Logano at all.
at all.
Like,
Like
where was he at?
this was bad for Fords, and
It's starting to get really concerning.
very concerning now. We talked about before, is it time to pull the five fire alarm? And now, in my opinion, I think it is.
So, yeah. I think after
Yeah.
Talladega, I mean, a Ford
Yeah.
didn't come out of Talladega super speedway after, getting the pole and everything,
Yep.
and still didn't win. Yeah,
Yep.
I wouldn't say they dominated, but they're in position to win the race. And again, the wind knocked out of their sails,
Yeah.
a quarter mile from the start finish line.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Ford has definitely got to start pressing the panic button here.
I agree. I mean, when you talk about Talladega, there were 4 Fords in the top 5 coming out of turn 4. They didn't win.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And they've been qualifying well, which they've qualified well before, but they have not been able to stick to their guns. And the only person right now in the Ford camp that's pulling weight is Blaney,
Yep.
Noah Gregson, and that's about it. Chase has coming clutch a couple times. Brad has come up clutch a couple times, but that's it. There
Yeah.
has not
I think,
been.
I mean, I would like to say Noah's definitely in the mix, which he is. But as far as like carrying that Ford banner this year, so far it's Ryan Blaney.
For sure.
But they're still not contending for wins.
No.
They're eking out top 5s. They're getting their top 10s. They're in the hunt for the points, but they're just a little bit off, and it's gonna. I say a little bit, but next week we could go to Kansas and maybe they hit on something and they start running good. Who knows? It doesn't take much to get off.
They're going to need to, because Kansas, obviously, we know Denny Hamlin runs well there. He just went over.
Yeah.
Bubba Wallace runs well there. So Toyotas at Kansas typically run pretty well.
Hendrick's going to be strong. I mean,
Hendrick's always strong.
It's the Hendrick and JGR show. It's going to be
Yeah.
a continuation of that. I don't think we're going to see anything different going to Kansas.
Unfortunately not. I do want to touch on
and
too.
Blaney led what 40 laps or so. He was in contention to win the stage.
Yep.
William Byron then snuck in there, took the lead. I thought William was going to win the stage, and then out of nowhere, with like 4 laps to go at the end of stage 1. Truex just passed like 4 guys and took the lead and walked away with it. Like,
Yeah.
It was crazy to see just the speed difference there. And then I thought we were just going to write it off and be like, all right, this is Truex's race to lose.
Yeah, well, and I was going to talk about that, the Byron situation. I thought he really had a good chance of winning this race until he got into that accident where Zane Smith, who's had a terrible year so far, so driving a little angry, I can understand, but he just had no – he just continued to drive through. I don't know why he thought he was vying for a top 5, but he's back in the 20-somethings. And he just basically pushes Bubba. Who was it? Bubba.
He wiped Bubba out.
Yeah, wiped Bubba out, which caused the whole
chain
chain reaction.
Back, and it cost Bell and Byron to get involved in it.
It's just insane. Like, why are you doing that?
I thought it was hilarious too. It's not hilarious. It's pretty sad actually. That the Fox broadcast, was so bad that they couldn't even tell who it was that caused that wreck. They literally sat there and said, "Oh, I think that was William Byron that caused that."
No, Clint. Clint kept sitting there guessing. He guessed every freaking part. Dale Earnhardt Sr. caused that. Junior,
That's what I said in the group chat. It was Dale Sr., Truex Jr., Martin Earnhardt that caused that.
Dude, Fox, this one, I think, has been the worst so far.
Oh, the commercials.
Commercial placement, little pop-up placements. Just makes no sense.
I don't remember a Fox broadcast so far too that we did like 2 team, like profiling 2 teams. Like
they usually did one.
It's usually just one. So okay, let's go ahead and talk about Denny's team and throw the graphic up of the crew chief and everything for like 30 seconds, full screen over green flag racing.
Yeah.
Or the fumble of Mike Joy going, okay, we're expecting pit stops within like 6 laps, and then a lap later they go to caution or commercial, and then they're pitting.
The pitting. Yeah. No, my favorite, my absolute favorite. We have all the cautions. Or sorry, we have all the laps getting ran. What we got down here, pulling away from racing for talking about previous races.
Yeah.
There was a commercial, Stenhouse wrecks. They come back from commercial. Stenhouse is against the inner wall. They can't figure out how to hook him up. They finally show the replay. They're showing, and they're just literally focusing on Stenhouse and them not being able to move him for like 5 minutes of them just buffling around. There's your commercial time. And then there's your slot to do all your little pop-ups and bullshit.
And then to segue into that, a completely different wreck, the Zane Smith incident with Bubba and all of them, that happens like 10 laps later.
Yeah.
In the cars in the garage area, and Clint's like, yeah, that cat in that 47 car, I feel bad for him. He had a good race. Like, that was like 30 minutes ago, dude. What are we doing here?
I didn't understand what was going on. That was, I don't know if they just, their statistician guy was fired that day.
I think it was the worst broadcast of the year so far.
It's by far the worst broadcast of the year. It was bad.
And I don't understand, because it was FS1. It was broadcast on FS1. I figured with it being on FS1, you have, it's not Big Fox, obviously. So you would think we would have less commercial breaks, or at least less commercials. I even understand, because when we have like race day and stuff like that, all the pre-race stuff, like they'll go to commercial break and then they show 2 commercials and they're back. Yeah. But when the race is happening, we show 79 commercial breaks and they're all 10 minutes long.
Because they can charge more. They know more people are watching the race than the race day. So they're like, okay, we're going to sell these slots way more. Like NASCAR, I know you're trying to get every bang for your buck that you can, but please set some guidelines for this crap.
Well, was it in stage 2 that we had, I forget where it was, but we went to commercial, we came back, and I tallied it in my head. They went 10 laps, went to another commercial.
Yeah.
10 laps at a mile racetrack that they're running 25, 30-second laps. So what is that, 5 minutes of racing action, and then another commercial? 4 minutes. I think it was 4 minutes, because I looked at the time tags on the group chat.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think Dakota had put together basically showing where the commercials were. And I mean, it was just, he the way it read out was more like that should have been the live airtime, not the commercial airtime.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. What do we have? 4 races? 3 races? More?
We got about a month.
Got a month, so about 4 races. About 4 races before we switch over to
600.
NBC.
Yeah, I think Sonoma. I can tell you right now.
Well, it's
Hold
because I
up.
know Darlington's still on the Fox side, and
I think it's
then
Sonoma that is.
All Star. Yeah, I can't remember. I don't remember.
I think Sonoma's the last.
It can't come soon enough. That's all I can say.
Yeah, Sonoma's the last one. So July or June 16th at Iowa will be the first race for NBC, which will be on USA.
Pretty excited about that.
Yeah, I'm excited about Iowa, even though it's going to be kind of a short track, and of course we know how bad the short track package is. I'm excited about Iowa. I think and we got some good races coming up here pretty soon. We got Kansas. Kansas is going to be a good race, 1.5 mile intermediate. We know how good the next gen is there. Darlington's always a good race. Man,
Always.
let's talk about that Kyle Larson throwback real quickly. Good goo. It finally happened.
So finally, there has been so many wants for this. I mean,
don't wear it. Don't wear it.
Finally,
they
have brought back the scheme.
Does it take the cake as like one of the best throwbacks ever?
Yes, 100%.
Like not even on track yet. We haven't even seen it on track yet, but it's like already one of the best ones.
One of the best ones. The fact that they changed the font of HendrickCars.com and
they went all in. They did the 5, like the slanted 4, 5, and everything. And
they did this perfect.
We know how bad some of these schemes are on next gen because of the number placement. It works. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Chef's kiss on that one. Whoever finally got their head out of their ass and let us have this, thank you.
We're moving on, Charles. I don't know what it's over. It's over. You got your money. It's over.
Yeah, you won. You don't get any more congratulations. Yeah. You won the money. Okay.
Yeah. Here's your handshake.
Yeah,
but so throwback race coming up at Darlington, and then Wilkesboro. Little bit of news for Wilkesboro again about the 5 car, 600, and then Gateway, Sonoma, Iowa, New Hampshire, Nashville. I mean, summer stretch is coming up.
Yeah, and I cannot wait. I am super excited. Some good racing coming up.
I know we kind of talked about wanting to go to Darlington and everything too, but I don't think it's going to be in the cards this year, unfortunately.
I looked it over as much as I could, and there's just I can't make that
Mother's
work.
Day weekend. It's our birthday weekend. I got some personal stuff going on. I need to be here anyways. We got the bus stuff, so unfortunately, we're not going to be at Darlington. So if Cooper and Bailey are watching, I know they're going.
Enjoy for us.
Enjoy it. Please get me some fantastic pictures of that sexy ass 5 car.
You ordered the merch already, right?
Oh fuck yeah, I'm broke.
This man needed the money.
I'm all right with that. And make sure you're wearing that Hamlin gear, please. None of that Chase shit, because we need that Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin gear handshake picture.
We will Sparta kick you off the top of the bus if you show up in Chase Elliott. That's basically what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm really excited because did you see the blurred image from Hendrick for the 24 car?
I did. I don't know what to think of it. It looks like T-Rex.
If it's T-Rex, that'll be the one for me because that's one of my favorite cars ever. That I don't know. I don't know.
They're pulling out all the stops this year on their throwback. I mean, Chase Elliott and the Dell Jr. throwback. Geez,
yeah.
What's Bowman going to run? Is Hendrick going to kill it this year as far as throwback?
Probably My Little Pony. Fit him.
Probably right.
Yeah.
God damn
it. Twice. We just both clicked the same thing. Yeah. I mean, the good thing is I'm sitting down so you can't tell how excited I am for the 5 car. But it's, dude, that thing is.
Oh, let me I'm gonna pull that back up and look because
It's going to be the DuPont 2011 car. It's very possible. It might just be my mind already wanting it to be the T-Rex car so bad, because that is the one car that I've always wanted them to throw back to, other than the 5 car. And I I hope it is. I hope it is. I don't know. I hope it is. If it is, I'm driving up to Hendrick Motorsports and going there on one of my days where I just have to drive up for a
you
day
need to,
trip.
you need to go up there anyways because you sent the picture of it of the 5 car
It's at the
sitting in
museum. Yep. So if you're in or around that Concord, basically in around where all the race shops are, they have the Kellogg's car or the Hendrick throwback car at the actual museum right now, so you can go see it in person. And I can tell you, those pictures just on the camera, just looking at my phone,
Yeah.
they look so good.
Did you see the video too when Terry was? I know they did it on Race Hub. I know they didn't vote on Race Hub, but when they like traded helmets and everything,
Oh, I didn't
helmets
see that
and
part.
suits and everything. Yeah, so they gave Kyle Terry's suit to like hold, and Kyle's like, "Holy fuck, this is heavy." And then they give him Terry's helmet. He's like, "Oh my god!" He's like, "Oh, like leaning over like that." And then they trade and give Terry Kyle's suit and helmet. He's like, "I wish I would have had that back in the day." Like, it's
That is
crazy just how light things have gotten.
the change in how things have moved on.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, no, I'm super excited for it. I thought it was funny because some people were like, just like Fox with their TV coverage, let's pan away from the thing everybody wants, and they're like panning past the car and zooming in just on Terry's face. I'm like, okay, yeah, you could have showed his reaction. with the car.
Speaking of old Mitch at Fox getting that peep.
Bro, that was funny. That was funny. You like, Mitch, and
My
then you see
man.
the girls.
My man,
You know what you were doing, Mitch.
you knew exactly what you're doing.
You know what you were doing.
That was funny.
All right.
We didn't really even talk about the end of that race though.
We have not actually.
Off
So
topic.
let's move into that now. Into that race. Obviously, we have our group betting, and for some reason, nobody chose Kyle Larson in this group betting. So once I knew that Ross was not going to win, and he just basically didn't show up all day, I became one of the biggest Kyle Larson fans out there.
You wanted that rollover. I wanted it.
I wanted the rollover. We were already at $200+.
Yeah.
So keep it going.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
It was a good end to the race. I was thoroughly entertained. I mean, yeah, second sucks, especially to Denny, but I thought it was a really good ending to the race. I mean, I'd say the first 3/4 of the race was kind of Dover. Like, it wasn't terrible, it wasn't great.
yeah.
But then the ending of it, we definitely had the couple of restarts there. Hats off to Denny. He executed. He lost the lead on pit stops, and then executed on restarts. Got the lead back. Wasn't able to. Kyle wasn't able to get back past him. And then just being able to aero block. The aero blocking is nothing new. It's not like this just started this year or last year or even with the next gen. I think just everybody's gotten really good at it.
Yeah,
especially
for sure.
some of these guys have really excelled at it. I'm curious what your opinion is on what Kyle said about removing the cameras.
So, I just made a TikTok about this as soon as I got home today. So aero blocking. I'll start with it. The aero blocking they're doing using the cameras, basically using these camera assisted review mirrors, is the same information they would have gotten from their spotter, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I don't see removing the camera mirror to do anything. What happened is they figured it out. These teams, as they figure things out, they know how to use that for their advantage. And that's what happened here. The teams started figuring out how they could use air and basically race people with air. I think if the same knowledge would have been around for the previous gen cars, air was still, it wasn't as important for those cars, but it still was important. And I think there was aero blocking before there was ever aero blocking.
Well, yes, there was. I mean, this is nothing new. Dirty air is nothing new. It goes all the way back to when teams started figuring out aero back in the 80s.
Mhm.
70s, really. But now the cars are so dependent on it. That's why we have the flat underbodies and the diffusers and all these aero packages they try out. With that being the case, certain drivers, really good drivers, know exactly where to put their cars on how to aero block. I'm kind of
Larson's
in
one
the
of them.
fence of it. I think, yes, the spotters definitely have a role in telling, hey, they're edging high, they're edging low, whatever it is, and the driver can defend that way. I do think the cameras do help somewhat, but I don't know if removing them is going to make that much of a difference. The only way to know is to try it.
And
What are we losing in trying it? I mean, it's not going to make the performance worse, is it?
I don't think so. I mean,
think it would.
my only thing is if we try it, you got to be careful where you try it at, because obviously they're throwing some trial stuff on North Wilkesboro, the All-Star race, which makes sense. It is not a point-paying race, so if we're going to try
It's
stuff,
always been like that open test session type race.
exactly. So if they do it there, I don't have as big of a problem, but I want to see what it does when it comes to super speedways and stretched out, because in short tracks or anything dealing with short tracks, I just feel like they're going to get so much information from their spotter to begin with that it's going to be negligible.
Yeah, I would.
It doesn't matter as much.
I mean, we raced the Gen 6 car for years. We raced all these cars for years at super speedways in the draft without these cameras.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make, because I think it just makes the spotter's job harder. But
More information.
Yeah, I say we should try it. Let's try it.
I'm down to try anything. I want to try.
It's not going to make it worse.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, there's a lot of things I'd love to try out there, like adding more horsepower. But
keep beating that dead horse, buddy.
I am that horse. We still have it's still out there. If anybody needs to sign it, it's still out there. You look it up. We'll post it again. We have a petition out there for more horsepower, because we need more horsepower. And rant. But yeah, Larson was definitely there at the end of the race. He was getting it closer and closer, and he got aero blocked by Hamlin. Larson was already aero blocking Bowman earlier in the day.
Yeah,
he beat Reddick by aero blocking. So
and that was the thing. Like, some people were calling Kyle a hypocrite, and look, Kyle's he doesn't hold his tongue. He'll fucking talk about whatever he wants to. That's why he got the name Blunt Larson. And honestly, I agree and I disagree with some of the stuff he said, but he did own it. He was like, look, I aero blocked Bowman for the stage. I aero blocked Reddick for the win at Vegas. I think he's looking at it from both sides. Kyle Busch got out of the car after the race. He said the aero blocking is horrendous. It's the worst it's ever been. So it's not just one guy. I think it's everybody. And Denny Hamlin, he said, I don't even use that camera. It's not that big a deal or whatever. Is that just him being a winner and saying that because he's the one winner this weekend? I haven't listened to Actions Detrimental yet, so I don't know. But
it's worth the listen.
Yeah,
I call
I'm sure
it.
it is. I'll listen,
does a great job.
I'll listen tomorrow.
Yeah, he does a great job. Very interesting. I had no problem with how that race played out.
I didn't either. As a Larson fan, I had no problem with it either. I thought it was a great finish to the race. I mean, we kind of knew the outcome. I think I was watching the onboards, and I knew that once Kyle got within a half second and, Denny started doing the aero block, and I was like, it's over. I mean, there's nothing he can do.
Not enough laps. And that's the thing is, like,
I think if we had tire wear, a lot more tire wear.
And that's almost turning into its own dead horse. I mean, I don't understand how we saw what we needed and we still can't try to replicate it. I don't know. Well, there's bigger powers than what we're allowed to see. And I guess they know, but
I didn't watch practice or anything this weekend. I was busy out in the yard, but I had the PRN broadcast going, so I was kind of listening to it. And they were saying that Byron had like ate his tires up within like 15, 20 laps.
17
laps.
There
was some hints that, like, okay, maybe this is going to be Bristol all over again. But I mean, Dover's just a bigger Bristol in a way.
Yeah.
But it was a lot warmer. I think it was 20 degrees warmer from Saturday to Sunday.
And that was the problem. So we're starting to see that track temp is playing way bigger role than the tire itself was. So it's definitely starting to answer the questions of
Well,
how did Bristol happen.
You saw how
Yeah.
much rubber the track was taking this weekend.
Yeah, and it took it quick. During the practice, it wasn't taking it. It was basically marbling. And during the race day, it took it pretty quick. You could see it. It was visible. And so, unfortunately, that's how the race went. Overall, not a bad race, though.
I haven't read much on the All-Star package, like the tires. I know they have like this option tire that's like it's a slick, but it's not. It's grooved.
It's slick material, but grooved like a rain tire.
Yeah, so
which I'm excited about that.
I'm excited for it. We're trying something. Let's see how it goes.
Yep.
I mean, maybe it's a solution.
We'll see
for sure.
But all right, any more that you want to cover on the race itself?
No, we're getting a good stretch here. May is always my favorite time of year racing wise because we got some good races coming up, and 600 I cannot fucking wait.
And we're getting older, so it's our birthdays within like 3 days of each other.
Remind me, my body reminds me every day I'm getting older.
Darn knees, man, darn knees. But you got the Coke 600 is going to be amazing. So we talked about it a little bit earlier. So Camping World, if you've never been to Charlotte, I recommend you come support us. But Camping World, which is directly next to the track, so there's the Camping World Resort, which is the campground that's literally like right across the street.
It's right there on Bruton Smith Boulevard.
Right there on Bruton Smith. And then right next to it is the actual Camping World. So that is where this is all taking place. We do not know our time slot or date yet. We're still working through those details. But we have been asked to be a part of it. And it's one of those things. We've been doing this for 3 years now. And I'm super excited about it. I cannot wait. I think this can open the door for more possibilities, hopefully for us in the future. But we'll be there live on stage. So you can come, you can support us, you can get autographs. They're going to have a bunch. She said between 20 and 30 drivers coming to get signatures. If you want to, you can go to their Facebook page or you can go to their Instagram. They also have the Twitter, but she's not running the Twitter yet. It is SS. What was it? It is SS Autograph Zone. Yeah, SS Autograph Zone on both Twitter Instagram and Facebook. And it's the old Speed Street. So it's going to be awesome. We're going to have people out there, racing personalities as well. Dirty Mo is supporting the event as well. So I don't know if they're going to be out there or not, but.
And some legends of the sport too. I know Jeff Bodine's going to be there. Steve Park's going to be there. Yep. Some older names that, we don't really hear anymore are going to be out there. And of course, some young faces, Truck Series guys, Xfinity guys, some Cup guys. So we're working on some of the Cup guys to get on the show. Yeah,
we pretty much we not 100% definite, but it sounds like we're pretty assured that one of the drivers that we really wanted to be able to interview is probably going to happen. So we're super excited.
I cannot wait to talk to Chase. I mean,
I wore the hat just as a subtle hint. Just giving it away.
Time to break a leg.
Yeah, again, please. Yeah, multiple this time.
Don't ever come back.
Yeah. But it's gonna be a great time. So if you can make it, we'll let y'all know the exact date and time. But it's gonna be right there, right next to the track. So if you can make it out there, support us. We would be very appreciative. I'm gonna once I know everything, I'm gonna make a Facebook event for it as well. And it's gonna have the address and everything as well there. So just thank y'all for everything. It's because of all of y'all, our friends, our families that support us, that this is becoming a possibility. They found us on TikTok, just doing our thing. So
doing your thing.
Hey, it's still a team sport. But
that's what NASCAR is, team sport.
Team sport. All right. Let's move into picks, and then we'll round out the show. Who you got?
Kansas. Picks. Redemption.
Not bad pick. I'm going to go with the old Bubbles. Bubba Wallace. I'm going to go with Kansas, bringing it home again. Not doing too great these past couple weeks.
Bad luck.
Two DNFs back to back. I think this is a bounce back one. He's done well at Kansas, obviously, before. So we shall see.
Yeah.
We shall see.
I like it.
But
I'm not
all right.
better, but I mean, I like the pick.
Yeah. Not above a fan. Just I think you can do well. I don't think we're going for 4 wins for Hamlin right now. So
Jesus, I don't. This is shaping up to be an interesting year. Hamlin has definitely racking up those points. We've got. I've touched on it before. We've got 3 guys I think that are walking away with this.
Yeah.
Obviously, Denny with the 3 wins, Byron with the 3 wins, Kyle not necessarily with the wins, but stage wins.
Consistency.
That's big.
Yep.
How did he make it to the championship for it, even though he had trouble, at the Roval and multiple places in the playoffs in 21, still made it to the championship for because of stage wins. So, it's going to be a tight race where, it's not too early to be talking about points, and we need to be emphasizing that here.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll see. Bunch more to come. It's going to be a great week. It's Kansas, so it's going to be some good racing. Can't wait. One day we're going to make it out there. But that's all I got. I mean, as always, make sure you support the people that support us. Obviously, we got Kanga Coolers down here. The link is in the bio, but it's kangacoolers.com. If you use code FASTCAR10, it gets you 10% off. So if you need a new cooler, koozies, little stuff like that, go ahead and get it. Knock it out right now. It helps us out, helps you out. Let's make it happen. But that's all I got.
Yeah. Only thing I got to talk about is we got a new outro.
Oh, we do have a new outro. Let's go ahead and show the peoples what that looks like.